Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we have got a lineup of jokes for you that are guaranteed to crack you up. Let's straight dive into the fun.
A sweet elderly lady named Edith stopped by her neighborhood grocery store to pick up a few cans of cat food. She placed them on the checkout counter with a smile. The young cashier shook her head. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but store policy says I need proof that you actually own a cat. Too many people have been buying pet food for themselves." Edith sighed, went all the way home, picked up her fluffy tabby cat, and returned to the store. The cashier smiled, apologized for the inconvenience, and rang up the purchase. The next day, Edith came back to buy a couple of cans of dog food. The cashier smiled awkwardly. "I'm sorry, but the same policy applies. I'll need proof that you own a dog." Edith quietly returned home and came back carrying her little beagle. This time the cashier happily completed the sale. On the third day, Edith walked in carrying a small covered container with a tiny hole in the top. She placed it on the counter and said, "Before I shop today, I'd like you to stick one finger into this little hole." The cashier looked puzzled. "Are you sure it's safe?" "Oh, perfectly safe," Edith replied with a smile. Curious, the cashier slipped her finger inside. She immediately jerked it back out, wrinkled her nose, and exclaimed, "You! That smells awful." Edith smiled sweetly. "Wonderful. Now I'd like to buy 3 rolls of toilet paper." Old Man Earl lived on a quiet country road just outside a small town. For years life had been peaceful. But as the town grew, traffic increased, and drivers began racing past his property at all hours of the day. Unfortunately, Earl's free-range chickens seemed determined to cross the road at exactly the wrong moments. Every week, several of them ended up as roadkill. Finally, Earl called the sheriff's office. "You've got to do something about these speeding drivers," he complained. "They keep running over my chickens." The deputy asked. "What would you like us to do?" "I don't care," Earl replied. "Just slow 'em down." The next day, the county installed a large sign near his property. "School crossing." A few days later, Earl called back. "No good. They're still flying down the road." So the county replaced it with another sign. "Slow, children at play." A week later, Earl was on the phone again. "Still not working." The deputy rubbed his forehead. "Well, Earl, what do you suggest? Mind if I put up my own sign?" "Go ahead," the deputy said. After that, the complaints suddenly stopped. A week later, curious about the miracle solution, the deputy drove out to Earl's property. Sure enough, traffic had slowed to a crawl. Drivers were creeping past, staring intently toward the fields. The deputy pulled over and read Earl's homemade sign. Then he burst out laughing. The sign read, "Nudist community ahead. Please slow down and watch for chicks." A woman comes up to a man and says, "Explain your love for me." The man thinks for a minute, then he says, "You are like my SIM card. Without you, my phone would be nothing." The woman became so happy upon hearing this. Then as the man was leaving, he uttered to himself, "He doesn't know that my phone has a quad SIM."